In case you have seen my intro for the Midnight Quickie, you already know what to expect. If not, go watch that first and don't tell me I didn't warn you, because this is the first ever and it will be one take. Whatever happens, happens. And I want to start off with the revisit of the Honor 8. Now, I've used it for 1 week with Nougat. And what are my opinions so far? Let me tell you one thing. 90% of what I said in my first initial review is still intact, and that's why I don't really want to go too much further, but just focus on the things that change and what I think about it now. So, the design is still absolutely amazing. I still think it feels great, it's nice and compact, feels premium. The fingerprint reader, in my opinion, is still amongst the very best one, especially since it has some extra functionality with being a button. This is great. The display, in my opinion, is still an absolute flagship, beautifully calibrated, high quality, bright viewing angles, everything top. Now, I have to actually say the speaker sounds a little bit weaker to me like the first time, but it could be maybe due to the fact that I've since then to now reviewed a lot more phones with better speakers, but it still is solid. Headphone jack is okay as well. Performance is pretty much the same as before, which is good though, because as some of you maybe know, if you have watched my Mate 9 review, I've complained that I think EMUI 5.0 and Nougat isn't quite fully optimized yet, because there I saw quite a lot of slowdowns and stutters and so on. Not a whole lot, and for some reason other people didn't see them at all. Now, none of this is here the case. It is still silky buttery smooth, of course still blurry due to IPS screen a little bit, but actually quite good. Snappy, performs great, in my opinion, flagship, totally. Software, I won't show it because I don't have a second cam, I don't want to use it, and I want to just boil it down to the main core. This is still EMUI. Don't get fooled. Yes, it has Nougat features now and it has a more modern design, but underneath it's still EMUI, and I've said this on my Mate 9 review. If you want to see that, go check it, but it's still, now we have dual window and all those nice little additions, but the looks are more modern, even though more limited, since the theming engine now doesn't really allow us for so much customization. Quick settings always look the same, settings always look the same, so I hope with time these things will get added like they were on 4.1, and a few things are actually weaker in my opinion now, like the carousel, stock Android-like carousel for the recent apps. I prefer the side-scrolling one, and I know a lot of EMUI users did as well, but I also want to talk about, or talk to all the EMUI lovers. Don't get too upset about it. Give it time, you will get used to the looks, and underneath it still is what it was before. Camera, still a flagship camera, still amazing shots, videos. Now we even have bokeh in videos with Nougat, if that's important for you, but it's still a great shooter, nothing else did change. The only thing that maybe did change though actually is the battery life, because I had to check my own video to know what I'm talking about, and there I said 6 hours in mixed use, about 1 hour less on mobile data, 1 hour more on Wi-Fi only. And back then this was great. It's not quite as great now anymore, since we have reviewed already quite a lot of Snapdragon 625 phones that are just so much better, but it's still great. Now, what did I get this time? And I have to say I got consistently 1 hour less of screen on time, so about 5 hours of mixed use. But I also have to make one thing clear. I worked during this time that I reviewed it in a different place where the reception was a lot weaker. I still had LTE, no problems here at all, and the reception was still strong, but I guess it struggled after all because I've noticed less battery life than the first time, and I don't think it's all just because of Nougat. So my gut tells me we lost about half an hour of screen on time, because the other half is due to the reception. But I still think it's weaker, but EMUI 5.0 just came out, it's not that long out ago, and that's why I think with a little bit optimization over time it could be added, this half an hour. But even if not, it's still good, and it could be just my wrong calculations. But either way, it is solid enough, because if I just give you my S7 stats here as a comparison, about 3 hours on mobile data. So we still get around 30% more here with 4 hours of mobile data, which definitely shows that the battery is still better than quite other good batteries. So, to get to the point though, is it still the phone that I've recommended so much in the past? Yes, absolutely, and actually even more so now, because price is falling, at least here in Europe or Germany, to 350 instead of 400, and in other regions maybe even more so, and we see a lot of flash sales. And I simply don't see at this price point a phone that delivers you a better overall experience, better high quality components and all that stuff combined in one package for 350 that looks better. I just don't. There are now a lot of phones that you could compare in this price range, like a Lenovo P2, maybe an Accent 7 and so on, but I don't consider these to be direct competitors because those are phablets. Because I don't get really why you would consider this phone that is small, compact and beautiful with great qualities and compare it to a Lenovo P2, which is big, bulky, but knows to deliver the pretty much best battery life, but therefore not at the camera and so on. It definitely is a legit phone for what it is, but it isn't a direct competitor in my opinion, and this is where I want to leave it. In my opinion, if you're looking for a phone, so up to 5.2 inches for around 350, I don't see anything different. This is it. So, this was my first midnight quickie. It wasn't all that quick with about over 6 minutes, but I still hope you enjoyed it, and that's why I would like to have some comments, feedback and so on, and likes and maybe dislikes, just to know where I'm standing here with this. I don't see anything of the device. I want to see anything, and otherwise, if not, go, run, get to the chopper, and no. I make the worst Arnold impressions of them all, but I don't think I have to make an impression because everyone thinks I sound like him anyways, but wish you a nice day. Bye.